Well, what's your frame of thinking?
I mean, like, I'm a practicing Quaker. I think that kind of hangs a lot on how I look at it, and we believe in equity and, like, just, again, that simple premise. Like, a lot of religions have that, like, world, universal, love everybody kind of premise. The way we kind of look at it is, like, the light of God's in everybody, so therefore I can't punch you, to go back to that, or you're worth consideration, and that each and every single person on the subway platform is worth fighting for. You know what I mean?
Men don't have to just be this. We don't have to have just one partner. We can be open with ourselves. I might be pansexual. If I find a partner that's pansexual in the future, I'll be very happy about that. Why? Because we can all be open about ourselves. And that's how it works. Because in actuality, all of these are different circumstances taken on a case-by-case basis. And
You would have a relationship with a trans person?
yes, I would. Why? Because they're a person. Person first and foremost. Trans women are women. It's weird and terrible to have to say, but you know what? They're just women, okay? They're women. And
Trans women are women, then you would just say women are women.
right. But then I have to say women are women, but I have to give the context. The reason why is, for example, do you know that just yesterday, July 31st, there was a homosexual man that was stabbed in a parking lot for dancing, okay? He was stabbed in a parking lot for dancing. The LGBT community still has problems, booby, just like the black community still has problems and all the other ones.
So I don't know if it's clear, but I'm a trans woman, and Quakers have had trans members since the 1770s. So, like, I wasn't out as trans at the time, but I think something subconsciously kind of attracted me to that religion. And also, and it's also, I like how they practice, because, like, we all just sit in a room and stare at each other in meditation until somebody wants to speak up on what the God has to tell them. You know what I mean? And that's, you know, like, you hear about religious practice, but it's actually a thing you do over and over and over again. And I think, like, having that outlet of that form of meditation, especially one that's, like, not focused towards, like, what's inside of me, but what's, like, outside for all of these people around you, I think it's just helped me in my life when I have a lot of struggles, and, you know, I desire power. You know what I mean? Because I don't get a lot of power in my life as a trans woman, you know?
Are there a lot of trans people in Quakerism?
Yeah, there's quite a few trans people in my church. Depends on which house of worship you go to, but I can name 6 Quakers who are trans or gender nonconforming. So, and, you know, outside of, you know, going to the certain bars in New York City, you kind of have a hard time finding more than 6 trans people in the room at once. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I say I'll be the first person to tell you this. Women are women. Okay, I don't like saying trans women are women because I think it's uncomfortable, because trans women want to, they hold out the social performance and all the necessary aspects of being a woman. The feminine criteria, the feminine condition, and the feminine ideal. That's what it is. And for that matter, how we understand how gender and sex works in the duality, then they are women. But
I had a trans woman in this chair like 3 people ago. Pretty manly guy.
And you know what? This comes with a transition with that.
I have to ask you a gotcha type question. Do you think that kids should be able to have transgender surgeries?
Kids are not getting transgender surgeries. I would say I would defer to what the medical community says, and gender affirming care. A lot of times people hear about kids getting access to gender affirming healthcare, and they think surgeries, because a lot of times people just look at our thing and think, like, oh, it's sexual, so immediately they think about the balls or whatever. Gender affirming care to kids is usually social stuff, where, like, they get access to like a doctor, or they're able to dress in the way that feels right for them, and then they get puberty blockers to stave off this decision until they're 18 and mature enough to make this decision for themselves. So
Yes.
that's 100% not what I said. Did I mention the word surgery in those 3
Should they be able to get surgeries?
I defer to what the medical community says, and most of them will say no. I mean, some kids get top surgery, they get their breast removed, but also I have plenty of cis women friends who get breast reduction surgery, and nobody ever gives a shit about that twice, right? I don't really trust you, and this kind of feels like a bullshit thing, so go fuck yourself.